Breaking news today, and welcome to our transfer news. Today we talk about Manchester United, and we're going to be seeing what Manchester United is doing so far this season, because we believe to have seen Manchester United in a very critical conditions. We have a lot of clubs that are doing beautiful signings and doing changes for summer transfer, but Manchester United so far hasn't really made a really good signing this season, apart from Cunha, whom they just signed. And we're going to be looking at some potentials that Man United is having to do some new signing this season. We're going to look at that. First of all, we have 5 players that have announced officially to Manchester United that they want to leave the club this season. 5 players, and then we have this one. So Rashford left Manchester United on a loan deal to Aston Villa, where he was playing and actually scored some beautiful goals there, and he had to come back after the loan. But he came and he announced to the club that he doesn't want to play with the club anymore, and so he want to leave the club this summer. And also we've got this player as well, Garnacho as well, also told the club that he may be leaving the club this summer. And as we know, Garnacho was kind of unhappy at the club this season, and officially he told the club that he wants to leave. And Garnacho, has scored some very important goals, has been one of the key players for Manchester United, but I feel like he doesn't really have that much playing for the club and feeling unhappy. He wants to leave. And the third player is going to be, of course, Anthony. We all know Anthony left for Real Betis, and he actually did a very good job with Real Betis. And when he once he moved away from Manchester United to Real Betis, he became who we knew when he came to Manchester United. He became the player everyone was expecting to see, because he actually helped the club score a couple of goals that really helped them. And he was also one of the key players that took them to the finals of the Conference League finals, and where they were defeated by Chelsea. But if you look at Anthony playing for Real Betis, he actually did a very great job. And the question is, why is it that when Manchester United sign strikers, they do not perform at Old Trafford, but once they leave Manchester United, they became whom we all knew? And like, for example, Anthony, you can see, has done a very great job for Real Betis and needs to be appreciated. However, he just came back and informed the club that he will be leaving this season. And then the fourth player is Malaysia. Malaysia was still with the Manchester United, but he just told them as well he's sorry. He's going to leave the club as soon as possible. And then, of course, we got the last player, which is Sancho. Sancho was playing for Chelsea, but the deal couldn't work out for Sancho because of maybe salary negotiations. He wanted to stay in Chelsea for sure, but the deal didn't work out, and so he had to move back to Manchester United. But officially told the club that he will be leaving this season. But now, what is United's response to all these 5 players who want to leave? And so United has delayed their return date of all these 5 players until July, before anything is going to happen. It's giving them the time to maybe sort out their personal issues or problems in the club, so move forward. So United hasn't approved their requirements yet so far. And now let's take a look at some players that Manchester United so far this season has looked up to, like they want to sign. We look at here Bryan Buemo. Bryan Buemo was an incredible player playing for Brentford, and this season scoring 20 plus goals, which was actually incredible. Offered himself to Manchester United, but I think the issue or the reason why he didn't go to Manchester United is pay cut. And if you take a look at this, United is suffering like kind of financially, because there are a lot of players there who wants to play for the club, but they cannot really offer what they are asking, or they cannot really pay what these players are asking. And it's becoming the question, like, what is happening at United? They can't even buy a single player, but however, they have a lot of players who are being paid so much money every week, but they can't just go to the market and buy what is necessary to make the changes. So Bryan Buemo, the deal failed because maybe they didn't meet up to the criteria or the demands of the personally the player or Brentford team charged them very high, but I think they should have gone in from Buemo. He was very incredible. He's still really agile, and he offered himself for United, which means he has actually seen that, okay, sure, if I step into this, Manchester United is struggling, I can actually do something for them. And then we look at the next player, which is Gyökeres. Actually, before the summer transfer, a lot of people knew that Manchester United is going to gain access to Gyökeres, but actually it didn't work out. Like, it was a surprise that Gyökeres tonight coming to Manchester United and actually was looking forward to go to another club instead of United. So it was a surprise for everyone that Gyökeres is not coming. One very important player that Man United looked at, but a paid cut, which is really crazy, was this. United offered him a pay cut. A player who's at his prime, you offering him a pay cut to come help you solve your issues. United right now is really descending to where nobody knows. Imagine you in the league at the 16th position. That is the craziest ever. You cannot go to the market and find a player who is at his prime, who is doing incredibly very well, and you're just going to take a pay cut for him. This guy, when are you expecting him to receive his reward? When he's one of the best strikers you can have in your club, one of the best, if not. And so this is a moment he's supposed to have his wages paid off accordingly and very well. But then you just go to him and say, hey bro, we just please need you to come and help us, because right now we're struggling, and then we actually need you to help us. Let's build a club together and then get ourselves out of this shit. But then you're gonna tell the club, this guy, like, okay, sure, sorry, we just gonna do a pay cut for you because we cannot pay you maybe like 300k in a month, in a week. We're just gonna offer you maybe 200k. This is very abnormal here. You're struggling and you need to build up, and you're going for the best. Yeah, actually, you're going for the best, but you don't want to pay what he deserves, which is actually really mind blowing. Like, you see how Manchester United splashes opportunities away. And this comes to the questions like, why can't Manchester United buy a player? Why can't Manchester United pay a player? And the question seems like Manchester United is going bankrupt, because it's actually very, very weird right now. So far this season, no significant signings. Every player you touch, like, you're just going around Europe, pricing the players and coming back to sit your ass down and then watch them go away. Your first game is going to be with Arsenal. Your first game is going to be on Arsenal on the 17th. That is the first week of play in the Premier League. Your first game is going to be with Arsenal. And Arsenal is actually doing everything possible to get what he needs, so as the squad is going to be strong. Like, he's already going in for Chelsea striker Noni Madueke. He's going in for Chelsea striker Noni Madueke, and as well, he has asked for Gyökeres, which is, I think, gonna be the deal is gonna be done as maybe this week. The deal is gonna be done for Gyökeres, and as well for Madueke. We still have Madueke here, and still having some few things to be. But if you look at the way Arsenal is looking forward to fix the attack line, and of course the midfield, because I think I believe right now they are looking for someone to replace Thomas Partey, who just left. And if you take a look at these two signings, it's actually very, very significant signings to wait for the 17 for this game. And not only for this game, just fixing the whole squad for the whole season, but Manchester United is just sleeping on the Doreen. And if these clubs here, if we're just going to take a look at Chelsea, you want to notice that Chelsea is having a lot of potentials, like to maybe be a contender for this Premier League coming this season, because they have gone ahead to maybe do some very good significant signings. And this is what Manchester United needs to practice. For example, they just went ahead to get João Pedro, and then he just proved it yesterday. That is his first start, and he has two very incredible goals. That is what it means by signing someone who is going to deliver what you actually need. Let's take a look at some signings for Chelsea. You've got, they were looking up to Mohamed Kudus. They were supposed to present the second bid for Mohamed Kudus, but unfortunately Kudus said he's only going to play for Tottenham Hotspur, and so they didn't have the opportunity to present the second bid for Mohamed Kudus. But because of his choice where he want to play, he said he only want to play for Tottenham Hotspur. And you find as well João Pedro. This is the best signing I think Chelsea has done so far this season, because if you look at his first performance, his first start, two very incredible goals against Fluminense yesterday in the Club World Cup was something very, that is what you actually really need from every signings you want to do in your club. And so Chelsea is actually really making effort to make sure that the Premier League is actually going to be something very good for them. Just stay tuned for our next transfer windows. We're going to be seeing what is happening in the market. Next video is going to be about Barcelona, what they are up to, Real Madrid, Atletico de Madrid, and of course we're going to be touching Manchester City and Liverpool as well to see what is happening with their transfer market.